This video tutorial is going to walk you through the annotated bibliography, which is part of your research to practice assignment. You will find under modules in your Canvas site a research to practice assignment resources module. In this module, you'll find more information about the assignments and rubrics similar to what you find in your syllabus, links to submit your assignments, which are also embedded within each of your modules, as well as some information that was also found in your library module regarding coming up with a research question. I've also included a couple examples of assignments. Note that these examples are just examples. They're not meant to be exemplaries. Not all of these students received a full score. It's just to show you what the assignment should look like, give you a sense of what you should be turning in. I'm going to start by going over your actual assignment. If you click on Research to Practice Assignments and Rubrics, you will get a rubric that explains each of the assignments. Here, your first one is your annotated bibliography. And for your annotated bibliography, it's very important that you have reviewed your library module, which was the first module that you needed to complete in this course. That was put there for a reason. It was to get you to start thinking about research. It was to get you to start thinking about your topic for your research to practice assignment. You should have already started doing literature searches, figuring out your topic. You should have met with me or be planning to meet with me to get your topic approved. Note that you don't necessarily need your research question until you get to your paper assignment. You at least need a topic that you can start doing research on and get a better sense of what's out there, and that can help you formulate your question. So your question can come after you've started doing a little bit of research and getting a sense of what is out there, what the topic is, and where the research is leaning with regard to this topic. For the annotated bibliography, you need 5 library resources, your textbook for this course as well as for any other course, as well as any supplemental resources from this course and other courses should be left for your research paper if you choose to use those. For your annotated bibliography, I want you to find 5 library resources. So you need to do that library search and find those sources. 3 of the 5 sources need to be peer-reviewed. You should know how to identify and search for peer-reviewed research articles after doing the library module. The other 2 must fit into a category such as an edited book chapter, a lit review, more of a practitioner article, an article that was a special invitation article that was not peer-reviewed, or other more practitioner-based articles. So 3 definitely need to be peer-reviewed, and you should be able to click peer-reviewed, and that should help you in narrowing down those choices. Now, before I talk to you a little bit about what I expect from the OWL, from the annotated bibliography, and explore the OWL Purdue website, I wanted to just mention that the 3 main areas of content that I'm going to be grading is research, APA, and your actual annotations. And you can find your grading rubric. I grade everything in this course by a rubric. So having the 5 appropriate sources gets you points. Having it written in APA 6th edition style gets you points. If you need help with APA 6th edition, there are modules out there in the internet that can help you with that, and I'm happy to refer you to some. Purdue OWL has APA 6th edition modules that you can refer back to. This is very important. And then the different aspects of the annotation will make up the rest of your score. So for the different aspects of your annotation, what you want to do is really review the Purdue OWL site. And you have a link to that here on your assignment. And I really like how Purdue has done these sites. They really provide you good information. They have one on research papers too, so you might want to explore that for when it's time to write your research paper. But basically, it gives you a definition of what an annotated bibliography is. It's basically a list of sources, so you have to include each reference in APA format. And under each reference, you're going to provide 3 pieces of information regarding that reference, and that's your annotation. And so for your annotation, what you want to do is summarize evaluate each of the sources. And it says you can do one or more of the following. For this specific assignment, you will be doing all three of the following. So first, you're going to summarize. So you're going to explain what the main ideas of the article were, what was covered, what was done. I don't want you just copying and pasting the abstract. Each journal article has an abstract, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for your ability to summarize the pertinent information. Now realize some of these articles may have multiple questions that they're exploring, multiple ideas they're exploring. You only need to summarize the ideas that are pertinent to your question and to your topic. So you don't need to go into full detail about everything, but just how it's related, the information that's related to what you're exploring. You should also be assessing whether this article is a useful article. Is it a useful source? How does it compare with other sources in your bibliography? Did you find the information reliable? What's the point of this article? You don't have to do all of these. You can just choose one or two of these avenues to take in terms of evaluating the resources. And finally, you're going to reflect on it. And by reflecting, it's thinking about how does it fit into your research. For your research paper, what you're being asked to do is come up with two main conclusions or two main areas that are resonated throughout these different research articles. So this is the perfect time to start thinking about and scaffolding those ideas and thinking about what are the two main topics that are being covered across these articles, and reflect on that for your annotated bibliography. And so this will make your life much easier when you get to your research paper, because you already have the articles that you need to provide a support for those two main topics or two main conclusions that you will need. If you have trouble paraphrasing and evaluating resources, there's extra handouts available through the OWL site. So I would suggest that you really review this OWL site. Here again, if you need help with APA, they have an APA handout that you can click on. And they provide you an example of what an annotated bibliography should look like. And in fact, I also have examples. Like I said, I provide one example in your Canvas site, but let me show you another example. So here we have an example. We have the reference in APA format. Remember, APA includes the DOI, so that's important to include. This reference actually does not fully match APA because these first letters should be lowercase. Like I said, not all of these are perfect scoring examples, but it gives you an idea of what you need to do. So she talks about, or he talks about, the author's claim. This is their main argument. It's similar to a different study. So here they're evaluating it based on another study, and provides what their main conclusions are, and then goes on to say that it supports both their first main idea as well as the second main theme. So this article actually covers both ideas that this particular student is going to focus on for their research paper. And so you need 5 of these. If I scroll forward, there's other examples. Here she did get, or he did get, the APA formatting correct. So they did have the lowercase and then the uppercase for the journal articles and the DOI, which is important. And again, the study examines this relationship between the two practices. They talk about Common Core. This is what they were asked to do. And then it's a great contribution to my understanding of practices. That's a good evaluation of the study. And then it's really in conversation with the other articles. So they both are trying to understand the effectiveness of specific instructional strategies. So this has a combination of assessment and reflection, and those can overlap to a certain extent, but there needs to be a clear indication that both are being considered. Again, if you have any other questions regarding annotated bibliography, please let me know, but I would really urge you to consider reviewing the Purdue OWL site, review the APA handout, and get started with your library research if you have not already, as that is really the key to getting your information done. So with that said, if you have any other questions, just let me know.